I'm here with my guy, Alex Rylander, owner and CEO of H2F Apparel. For all who don't know, it's hard to find. What's going on, my guy?
What up, what up, what up? You know what it is, your boy, hard to find. I'm the CEO, you already know.
How you feeling tonight?
Man, we in here, we recording tonight. Shout out to my guy, B. He definitely hit me up when we was saying that, you got a podcast going, so why not join it? What's going on?
You already know, bro. I'm just trying to let people know what's going on to everybody else out here.
What's the name of your brand?
My brand is Benji Lamar Visuals.
Benji Lamar Visuals. I definitely been seeing you been working for a good number of months or at least years now. So I've been seeing you elevate and doing some photo shoots with people.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get my name out there, more exposure. Same as you.
All right, no, we working.
We definitely working. But we definitely about to get into this real quick. We gonna start off. Who is Alex?
So Alex, I would say Alex. I'm a young black man. I'm from West Philly. I've been I started out as a rapper. I always wanted to be like in the acting and just in the media industry, acting, rapping, and then I got to a point with my rapping. I see how easy it was for people to make money off of rapping. You go into the studio, you print up a bunch of CDs, your blank CD. This is the back in the old era. I'm from the old DVD era, if y'all don't know.
Right.
So you would go, you go into your little basement studio, you'll record everything you got. You buy a CD burner with 4 disc CD burner in there, burn all the CDs up all day. You know what I'm saying? And then you would go straight to the C-street, like, man, the streets. So I would burn up like 100 or 200 CDs at a time on my mixtapes, and then, I would come to school and I would just try to sell them for $5 or $10, whatever I could get, and it was working for me. So I, I just really transformed now the music to the clothing. I wouldn't say it's easier or not easier. It's a different lane that I learned I'm learning that I have to learn a lot more things that I think that I already know, but I'm learning that I need to learn a whole lot more.
Right. So what made you switch lanes from music to clothing?
Well, I'm gonna say, if you do music, you never really stop doing music. Currently, I would say that I stopped doing music, but it's like music, I ever hear a beat and I say, I'm gonna snap to that real fast, and I write a couple of little bars, and I don't really do much with it. I ain't really looking to be in the studio right now. I would more likely be behind the scenes and doing hard to find,
So
stuff.
Pacino not coming back out no time soon?
You know what? It's no telling. I'm not gonna put a yeah or no on it. I'm gonna just let the people want it, and then if I feel like I want to do it, I don't want to do it because it's been a while where I feel like people ask me like, well, what's up with the music? It's like they wanted the music more than they wanted the clothing because you know me from the music.
Right. So was it a little hard to switch?
I'm gonna say no. I know some people that started clothing lines, and they was telling me like, man, I've been doing this for 2 years, and trying to get my brand going, and it seemed like it took for 2 years for people to actually wanting to start messing with me. Like they were saying, man, I gave out like 50 free shirts when I started. I was thinking like, whoa, that's what's up. That's the way that you had to start from to get to your brand. I didn't do that. Like I literally went and got my shirts. I probably spent like a good. 1 year I got my taxes, and I was thinking, like how people always get their taxes and they just blow it. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm good for just taking a trip to Miami. I'll take my taxes and just go to Miami with it. Taxes really don't make or break my lifestyle because, God made it fortunate enough that I'm not waiting for no tax check where that's like the only money going on in my life. So when a tax check will come, I would just like mess it over. I was like, man, why don't you invest your money this time? This probably was in like maybe 2017 or 18, I want to say. I probably said that. And then I just was like, you know what? Let's invest in the clothing. Now clothing, let me rewind this up. I want to say that I've been making clothing for a number of years, but I just probably took it really serious maybe about 2017, 2018. And basically, it wasn't that hard to transform it. I want to say I did what I had to do. I invested my tax check, and the money from my tax check doubled the first 6 or 7 days after I did that. And I was thinking like, no, this is what I'm doing.
So it definitely was a good choice.
It was, I was not regretting it now. I'm sitting here talking to you.
So how would you describe the type of clothing you make?
I would call it streetwear and sweat gear. I want to say right now, and most of the time that I've been working, I want to say I focused on like t-shirts and sweatsuits, I want to say I focused on mostly like that, and I also do custom gear. Also, H2F is a custom streetwear apparel line.
Right.
So I would say that hard to find is definitely my gear, but I also do custom work. So I didn't know that I was going to be in my own game. I had actually started out with a different logo, and for reasons I was thinking I gotta simplify what it is that I'm trying to get to people. And I felt like my logo was a lot. It was like 2 peace fingers with like stars on it and a banner. And I felt like that's a lot. And I know when people look at it, it said hard to find on it, so they knew what they was looking at with a peace sign. And I was trying to like represent like peace. I didn't want something that was like, you know, something that was like peaceful. I didn't want that was like negative.
Right.
But I was trying to simplify that. And then I talked to my uncle one day. My uncle, he's like really articulate and really smart. He like builds computers and makes logos for like really big companies and things like that. So he literally called me one day, was like, yeah man, I had a dream about your clothing line. And I was like, yeah, uncle. So you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't talked about uncle in a while. And he just DM'd me on Facebook. And he like one of them newer age people that you don't even think use Facebook. So it was kind of like, you know, it was weird for him to hit me up like that. It was funny actually. So I'm like, yeah, well send me what you was thinking of. And he had sent me something. And it necessarily wasn't that heat that I was looking for. But then I had sent him like I was thinking more something like this. Can you simplify a H, a 2, and an F? And the way that I drew it was kind of like sideways with like the H and then the 2 coming out of the line, coming through the H, and then the F was the bottom of the 2. But instead, he had just like simplified it and bored it together like this for me. And then, you know, I didn't turn around ever since. This is where I kept it going to. So
you definitely credit a lot of you know.
Yeah, my family, a lot of my family. I got some family support, and I got a whole lot of friends support, and I can't be more thankful for you know, the support I have. And I'm gonna say that it comes from maybe from my music atmosphere of people, but I can't even say that because I learned that with clothing. You know, when you rapping, you might have a certain fan base of fans. You might be rapping about the hood, and you might only get hood fans because you're only talking about the hood. But I know this clothing, you could be anywhere with clothing. It don't keep me in a box. It actually take me to somewhere where different demographics of people are wearing my clothing. So I was happy to see like the musical change. And I'm not saying I wouldn't come back to music because music is definitely like universal, just like clothing. But I will come back also. But this is where I'm at right now.
So as long as you've been doing this, have you seen your clothing line somewhere other than Philly?
Well, yeah, I get orders all over the world. I get orders from London. I get orders from California. I get orders all over the United States. My clothing is not just in Philly. I know that a lot of people probably don't see it, or you know, if you look at I have a website. It's H2Fapparel.com. It's actually under construction right now. But if you look at my Instagram, you will see that like people post from all over the United States wear H2F Apparel, and this is not off of, you know, like no celebrity cosign. This is just literally like me waking up every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, getting on my timeline, posting to the people who, you know, who support me, and then, you know, they'll pass it on to people, and it's making it to where it is now, where I can survive for a couple of years and be able to do what I'm doing.
Right, I definitely understand that. So you come speaking of surviving, like where do you keep getting the drive to keep excelling through the height of COVID? So COVID, when it came, it hurt a lot of businesses, and you know, it was unfortunate a lot of businesses failed throughout COVID. I'm gonna say that my business soared throughout COVID. I would say that my business soared, and maybe that was due to the fact because during the time that COVID was going on, you know, we had like riots and stuff going on, so we was more, I feel like nowadays black people are becoming more conscious of supporting black people now. We used to be in a time where people would be like, oh, my cousin do that, so I ain't gonna support him, or like, you know, people, if you did something, people would hate on whatever it is you did. They would hate on it because they just feel like they don't want to see you make it and they not doing it. Right. So now that I feel like we're not in the temperature of that at this time, people are more kind of like, you know what? I'm not no hater. I'm really not no hater. And at the end of the day, what's hurting by me helping, extending my hand to you and helping you? I don't have to like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gaining nothing by hating on you. And I feel like nowadays people are realizing that we need to stick together. So it's kind of like, you know, I want to say that also helped make it through COVID. So before COVID, do you feel like, you know, your business was doing better?
I'm gonna say that when COVID came, my business, it did a whole lot better.
I believe that's what a lot of people businesses too, because everybody home, shopping, that's all they got, online.
They couldn't even go to stores.
Right. So how would you describe a normal day as a business owner?
I would say a normal day as a business owner is waking up, looking at your email, looking at all your orders, figuring out what orders already came in. Do you have any custom orders that you're gonna have to, like I said, I do custom clothing also. So I don't really promote that as much because I just want to stand on my brand. And,
right.
But I make a lot of gear for other people's businesses and their clothing lines also.
Right.
So I would say waking up, I just basically check all my orders and I try to get everything done as fast as I can. I try to, whoever hit me up first, in the order that they hit me up or in the capacity. Like if you ordered 50 shirts, of course I'm gonna try to get to your 50 shirts before I get to these 12 shirts. But if that person ordered their 12 shirts 2 days ago, then I'm gonna try to get to that order first. But I just try to wake up every day, normally get dressed and all that, get my day going with my smoothies and all that kind of stuff, get my greens in, you know what I'm saying? And then I get working. That's what I do every day.
So you do everything by hand?
I'm a manufacturer. I'm the promoter. I am the delivery person. I am the designer. Now, do I have help from people in my immediate circle? That's of course. Hard to. You can't really make it without a team. I'm gonna tell you that I definitely have a team, and they hard to find. Like I don't really expose my team. It's like I'm the face and everything. So I want to say out of the 10 jobs that needs to be done, let's say I do 7 or 8 of them at times.
Right.
And I'm trying to change that right now. That's the position that I'm in now, where I'm learning that I need to give some of these jobs away to other people that I could probably bring around so that I won't have to work as hard. But
more time you other things. I know you're definitely a busy man with rapping, clothing, even do artwork.
Yeah, I do. I actually picked up artwork. A good friend of mine, she's really artistic, and she just was like, "You want to go to the park and paint?" And I was like, "Let's do it." Like it sounded like something off a movie, but I was just like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then after that, like I would just be. She had called me some days and like, "You painting without me?" Like I had got to a point where I had really liked it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put painting on my clothes. Right. And so I started putting paint on clothes, and then I started looking at my house like, you know what? Why don't I start painting some of these walls in my house? I just started, I got to the point where I was looking like, you could design clothes many ways. You could put patches on it. You could put transfers. You could put like graphic designs on them. But paint, I realized I can get a pair of sneakers that's all white, and I can get a shirt that's crazy colors, and thinking like, damn, I ain't gonna be able to find nothing to match with that, or vice versa. You might buy some crazy sneaks and say you can't find a top to match with that, and I felt like now I could make everything, all by myself. But I do want to, so I am going to transfer to a section where I don't manufacture everything.
Right. All right. So for anyone that wanted to try to start a business, can you give them any advice on how to start it up?
I would say figure out what it is you want to do. Do you want to be in the retail business? Mm-hmm. Do you want to be in the manufacturing business? Or do you want to be in the resell business? Like, do you want to buy clothing from me? Because I had people hit me up and say, I want to buy some of your sweatshirts. I want to buy a lot of them at this price, and we could put it in my store in New York. But he just want to buy a lot of them, and he going to resell them for an awesome price in a New York store, right. A higher end store. And I can't be mad at that. I'm going to make my money. He going to make his money. But you just got to figure out what it is that you actually really want to do in the clothing business, because that's what I'm realizing as I go. I'm realizing that it's not one facet of the clothing business. You can just be a part in a section of a business. You can be somebody who just adds tags to people's clothing line, and that's your business. You just add the tags. Right. You can make a lot of money just adding tags. So I would say figure out what you want to do and do that.
I definitely understand that. If you can go back 10 to 15 years and had a chance to change one thing about life, what would it be and why?
I would say don't be afraid to learn more things. I remember thinking like, I don't want to learn how to sew. Like sewing don't sound like nothing that a man do. So it's kind of like, And still, I haven't learned to sew yet. But I'm open to more things, coming my way than I didn't think that I would do before.
Yeah, sewing. I don't know. I tried my hand there a little bit. I'm not too good.
All right, sewing is like, I feel like once you can get into the designing and knowing exactly how you want your clothing to be, you become the real designer, not just dressing up the clothes, but actually really designing it from start to end. And that's where I'm transitioning to. I'm learning more things as I go.
Right. All right. So with that, do you have anything new coming out?
I do have some things new coming out. I have a podcast coming out called Sweetie Vibes. It's actually not going to be a podcast. It's going to be a vlogcast. So it's more going to be like a vlog, but it's going to be a podcast at times. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just be talking about like whatever. I like to cook. I like to paint. I like to do a whole lot of things. I travel a whole lot, so I just feel like why not put my travels and my food adventures and all that kind of stuff online for the world to see.
Okay. Since doing everything you're doing, like how did it affect like your personal life, as far as like relationship wise and stuff like that?
I'm gonna say, I know the ladies might agree with this. It's like you're gonna spend time on what you care about at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. When you get into this money and you be focused, you're gonna get the money. If you be spending your time laid up in the bed all day, you're gonna miss out on money. So with that being said, I'll be getting to the money. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we're gonna pause because we're gonna see how we go.
What up? You know what it is. It's your boy, hard to find. I'm the CEO. You already know. Be humble. Check out the slippers. You know what I'm saying? This is how we carrying it. Make sure y'all tune in and follow me at H2F_Apparel. Thank you.
So yeah, we back with we're hard to find. We talk about, this podcast right now. So how did this podcast come about?
So this year I was talking to two of my friends. Shout out to Millionaire Mindset 215. He's not here right now.
Hey B.
Shout out to Just Leash. Just Leash. We was just thinking like, you know what? We need a podcast that like, first of all, we was talking about how the news don't have enough outlets to represent us, and we just felt like, we see some podcasts, a lot of podcasts that I look up to, and I think like breakfast clubs, and it's also a lot of vlogs that I watch, and I feel like I like these. Maybe I should start doing that. And my friends, they do a lot of lit stuff too. Like they go to really nice restaurants to eat $150 cheesesteaks and gold chicken wings. No, this is not like made up shit. Like this is like for real. So like I was like, man, why don't we start showing off some of our experiences, like what we do like online, instead of just like, we real kind of like, I wouldn't say secretive, but certain stuff we just keep to ourselves. I would say we keep it a lot private. So shout out to Just Leash. And shout out to Millionaire Mindset. Sweetie Vibes is the name of the podcast.
Hey, what's going on, Leash? How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. What's going on?
Same old. What's new with you?
I just dropped the 16th of April this month, called Twice.
Is it a boy or girl?
All boys, vagina line.
So what inspired you to drop that line?
I'm an author. I write children's books, so Wiggles, created the bedtime story, pajamas, and it was like, boys, I had 2 sons myself, so that just came naturally, but it's nothing online for little boys.
Right.
Everything is catered to mommy and me, women, little girls. Like you can go on Instagram and you can go in there and buy your whole wardrobe for a vacation, and your daughters, and jewelry, sunglasses, everything. You cannot go do that for men or little boys. So
that's the truth.
I'm like, let me just slide in there.
Yeah, I definitely got boys, so I know how it is. It's definitely hard to find for them.
Yeah, good quality stuff.
What's the name of the books you have out?
I have a book I dropped in Little Friends about 2 boys who can play nice with each other. I'm about to drop another book really, really soon. Like 2 weeks soon. Like I'm like 2 or 3 days I'm gonna start taking pre-orders for my next book. It's called It Is Time for Bed, which is actually inspired by Al.
Oh, yeah.
Like he says it to he used to say to my boys, what time is it? Like Time for me.
I hate that.
And it was like it was so sorry. I'm like, yo, there will be a good book. Like, there will be a good book. And when I tried to do what time it's time for me, it was already taken. Shout out to them. So I had to get It Is Time for Me, and it's about a little girl named Olivia that I named after my great grandma.
Right.
And she is not ready to go to bed, but something happens that changed her mind. So gotta read the book to see.
That actually sounds like really interesting.
Yeah,
I can't wait till it come out.
I actually want to copy that myself. I definitely got a copy of your first book, and like I said, my son, he definitely reads it a lot. So I know this one's going to be a good one too. So it sounds like it's real personal to you.
Yeah, it's definitely a good
You want to explain, why it's a little personal to you?
This really forced me to push my pen.
Right.
This one is a little more wordy. So second graders, third graders, this book is for you. Advanced first graders, this book is for you. Some kindergartners, this book is for you. Moms, this book is definitely for you. And basically, what happened was, it was a problem with my pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Illustrators, working with illustrators can be difficult because you're trying to express yourself and trying to get what's in your mind onto the page through somebody else's mind and hands, and it's a process. So I wound up just taking the pictures I was able to get, and then I took those couple of pictures and I was like, I'm gonna make this a chapter book, like a short story.
Right.
So I had to fill in all of the sentences that I had, like beef it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my little short story, and then I started to I lost it.
You lost it.
I lost it. Cause I started to I wanted to write like a big series, like a 10-chapter book.
Right.
And I said, well, Alicia, introduce them to that book. You started off with little sentences, now you're beefing up, and then now you can give them the big dogs. Like, I want my book to grow with its first audience.
Right.
So they're not left behind with my, left behind during my journey.
Right. So, you think writing books is like, your thing?
Yes, I love to tell stories. I love children's books. I actually wrote a book in second grade. And a guy from my community in Tom Horton, he took me and my mom down to the CBS or PBS. I want to say PBS, PBS radio station, and I was the one chosen to read the book on camera. I had this big red dress, my hair was decked out. It was like the dopest thing. And we did a book about a French fry. We did illustrations. We went through the whole publishing process, everything I'm doing now. And I did it in second grade. So
it just stuck with you ever since.
Yeah.
That's
they definitely planted a good seed, because this is my second book I'm about to drop. So
we definitely getting a lot more black authors and a lot more black women as authors, and that, like, we definitely need that. So please keep pushing.
Yes.
But other than that, what else should we expect from you guys? As a whole from this podcast.
This podcast, I know for me, I want to be more vulnerable. I want to be able to express myself more than I have ever did. Like, I'm a really private person. So me filming with my children and me in my house, like me in my own element, that is like really sacred to me. I don't like to expose that. And I'm ready to like share my world. I'm ready to be open. I'm ready to be vulnerable. I'm ready to be everything I was afraid to be at one point in time.
How about you, Al?
I would say that, like, I've always been on front of the camera and on the stage and, in front of the people. Right. So it's always been just like, this is another facet to my life, or this is like another chapter in my life, or something that I felt like I don't know if y'all know out there, but I'm about to put this corny part about my life. I used to do the morning announcements at my high school every day from like 10th grade all the way to 12th grade. So I used to do the announcements every day. Now, for my 12th grade project, I remember they was thinking like, you know, you should be trying to do something that what you want to be trying to do when you graduate high school. So I thought I wanted to do radio. And I was thinking like, man, everybody was saying, you'll be good on the radio, you'll be good. So I used to be trying to like after school, this is no lie, man. I used to try to like go to like the white radio stations too. I didn't go to like Power 99. I was trying to like Wire 96.5. I was trying to show up to like all the white stations to see like, and just go in the, like the, I would just go there and get on the elevator and go to different floors and just be trying to be like, yo, can I intern somewhere here? And of course they was hitting me with the get out of here. Because, you know, and I remember just thinking like, man, I gotta get some kind of experience from somewhere. And I was thinking like, man, you're gonna have to like go to college. And I remember thinking like, not like I didn't want to go to college, but I wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
So it was kind of like, if I can go in here and prove to these people that I'm willing to come here and not get paid, because I came here a lot of times, I used to pay my money to get on the train. I used to catch like the R or something to go all the way to wherever I was going to catch the train to get to the radio stations. But it was kind of like, nobody would really pick me up. And I was kind of course they wouldn't pick me up for what I was doing. I was just literally showing up. And I was thinking like, by a certain time, you know, you always hear stories like this on TV. If they keep going, they're going to keep seeing, they're going to be like, no, he's determined. And after a certain amount of time, I just did it. I'm not one of them kind of people. I keep doing something, but until I keep getting too many no's, I just be like, man, I'm just go to community college. So I went to community college for music business. And you know what I'm saying? That was something that I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going to do radio. I always just wanted to do something in the entertainment industry or digital media or, you know, in the media industry.
So this podcast is going to be a platform that you've been waiting on.
Exactly.
You could be, you know, able to be yourself, express yourself. Well, all you guys can. I definitely can't wait to watch. I'm definitely going to be
okay.
Because, you know, I knew you guys for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
But
OHS.
that's what a lot of people don't know. We definitely go, you know, ways back.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of things I'm learning about y'all.
Yeah.
So I definitely know a lot of people will be interested to see you guys, you know, on a different, you know, aspect.
B. Lamar was good rapping with you, bro.
Always, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to sit back and a little bit talk about, you know, I guess your artwork and your clothing, you know, and show
For sure, man. I definitely need to mess with art. And make sure y'all tune in to B. Lamar and get your picture taken, man. Book with him first.
Good looking, bro. We definitely going to be back with another episode next week. But I'm going to get at y'all real soon.